Hey, welcome to the Northwest Georgia football special Thursday night edition. Benton and I, man, we're both out at our Murchie tonight. A handful of games in the area. Still a couple of them going on. Still waiting on Cartersville and Calhoun. Cartersville's up 42-35 in the second overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And the last score I saw on Walton and North Paulding was 42-42 in the fourth quarter. That's a
Let's see
huge
if I
game.
can find an update on
Yeah,
that one.
yeah, that's the Peachtree game of the night. I guess the big news of the night, man, was the game that we were at tonight. Our Murchie 54,
Mm.
Chattooga 21. I mean, our Murchie came out and played a great game. Most points they've scored since 2008. Jackson Coonley, 171 yards, 3 touchdowns. Um, that's about all I can say about that, huh? I don't
Yeah,
want to say
it's
too
just
much. The Chattooga Indian in here with me.
no, it was just it started out. Armurchie scored a couple quick ones, and then it looked like Chattooga kind of settled in. And second quarter, they put 21 on the board, went ahead, and then toward the end of the second quarter, right before the half, Armurchie scored and went back up, and then. I don't know if you would call that the Jekyll half or the Hyde half, but then the other half showed up, uh, Jekyll or Hyde, and our Murchie threw the ball well, and as you said, that one kid went for 170 something.
Yep.
They ran the ball well as well and put points on the board.
Yeah, they came out in the second half, man, and scored what 3 touchdowns in about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
They had the
first,
had the interception, and then they had that little pooch kick they picked up, and they took it down for a score. And
yeah, they scored on all three possessions. They kicked it off to Chattooga. Chattooga fumbled the very first play. Within 5 or 6 plays later, they had a touchdown. Then they intercepted a pass and ran it back in Chattooga territory, and they scored on that touchdown. And then I guess they picked up on when they kicked off before. They picked up that Chattooga's front line was turning their backs and running to try to go get in blocking formation, and just kind of pushed it over the front line into a gap and got on the ball before
yeah,
anybody could get there. So
and it was 47-21 before you even knew what was going on. I mean, halfway through the third quarter,
yeah, yeah.
it's tough to claw back from that.
And then when they had to late in the game line up and get 2-3 yards of carry, they converted on about three fourth downs to just murder the clock in the fourth quarter. I think they ran over 9 minutes off the
Yeah,
fourth quarter.
yeah. They ended the third quarter. Had their own 46-yard line,
Mm.
14 play, 54-yard drive to cap the scoring off at 54-21. Gave the Red Indians the ball back with 3 minutes to go.
Yep.
But yeah, great win for Coach Green and the Armature program. Probably one of the biggest wins they've had in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
Uh,
keeps their playoff hopes alive.
yeah, playoff hopes alive. We were talking before we went on. If things work out for them, and I mean they beat Pepperell, beat Dade, they still could slide into a playoff spot.
Yep.
I mean Tryon and Darlington also. They still have Tryon and Darlington in front of them.
If there's one thing we've seen this year, you never know.
They never know.
So just to give you a little update, Calhoun is on the Carsville 8 yard line. They're 4th and 3 to go. So somebody just called a timeout. It's going to be a timeout. Calhoun in the second overtime. Calhoun's down 42-35. Got a 4th and 3.
Yeah, I think we had what 5 or 6 games tonight, maybe, and rest of them tomorrow night.
Yeah,
You still trying to get up to Tryon tomorrow night?
yeah. I'm gonna go watch Tryon and Dade County. I think I might sit out. I might sit in the stands tomorrow. Tryon's a good place to sit in the stands anyway, but uh, might give them room on the sideline because there's not much at Tryon.
Yeah, I guess the other big score of the night was Dalton 52, Hiram 45. I know we all picked Hiram in our pick'em last night.
Well, I mean, it was more of a spread there late, and it looked like Hiram tried to make a little comeback and just couldn't couldn't get it done.
Yeah, that's a huge win for the Catamounts, man. It gives them a step up in that playoff race in 7-5A. Um, Hiram's going to have to beat Cass and hope for some luck.
Um, an update from earlier: Walton chimes in with a 48-42 victory.
A pretty good showing by North Paulding, man, putting all those points on Walton, who was the number 4 team in AJC. Can't wait to see
Yep.
the box score from that one and box score from the Temple game, man. Temple 50-0 over Midtown. I'm sure Cam Vaughn had a few yards.
I'm sure. I'm sure he did. Calhoun just threw a basically a throwback to the tight end Winston, and he runs it into the end zone, make it 42-41. Extra point is coming.
They're not going for
And,
2, huh?
they're in the swinging gate. For those familiar with with that special teams lineup, and now they've swung the gate over, and now they're in the field goal position.
I have a
Snap, hold, kick, and we're going to overtime number 3.
I have a feeling we might see those 2 teams in the Final Four eventually.
It could get there. I think that 42-42 is not exactly what I had envisioned for this game. But when you got so many playmakers, it's hard to slow the offense down.
Yeah, I think one of the other surprises of the night was Lumpkin falling to Wesleyan 28-14. Lumpkin was a 14-point underdog going in, but we all thought they had a chance to win that game.
Yeah,
It
yeah, I
still
agree
sets
with
up a pretty good game next Friday night though when Lumpkin travels to Gilmer.
you. Man, that's gonna be a good one, I think.
Got Rockmart 48, Model 14. Heritage stays undefeated 56-12 over Southeast Whitfield. Rome, man, big win tonight 70-0 over
Whew.
Woodstock. Cass 49-12 over Woodlands, getting it done. Like I said, Dalton 52, Hiram 45, Darlington 38, Coosa 7. Gilmer, man, stays hot 45-3 over West Hall.
Mm.
And that's our finals for the night, man. We're still just waiting on Calhoun, Cartersville, and we'll be done for the evening. Like I said,
Let's see.
big schedule coming up tomorrow night.
Oh yeah. Uh, 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line.
I'm sure all the diehard high school football fans tonight are tuned in to Cartersville Calhoun.
uh, Calhoun looks like they're down to the 3-yard line in the 3rd overtime. Let me see if I can tune my inner Paul Cavan. We got power, looks like to the right, handoff for the fullback, 21 in the end zone. There you go. Touchdown.
Caden Williams, huh?
Caden Williams, yep.
Man, you got to figure those guys are probably about as tired as you are, huh?
Yeah, they played a full game. Let's see, I'm trying to think. I woke up at about 5:30 2 days ago.
Yeah.
What is today? Thursday night?
Thursday night, yeah.
Yeah, 5:30
24, about
yesterday. So
about 29 hours.
yeah, yeah. So I'm getting it. I'm getting at the end of my peak. Now I did stop at the McDonald's and get me a sweet tea that kind of picked me up there for a second, but
Yeah, I'm sure it's not going to last long.
no. Uh, Somebody, I think Cartersville just took a timeout. They're down 48-42.
Looking at the stats here, man, our Armurchie held Chattooga to 41 total yards in the second half.
After what, 2:10 in the second quarter?
Yeah, check out this, man. You see that little comment up there?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I wish.
He's trying to fool us,
Uh,
huh? He's trying to fool
yeah,
us, man. He's got 12 hours of sleep, huh?
yeah. hmm I wish. But anyway, um,
Yeah. Benny Humphreys, man. Another dismal showing by the Chattooga Indians. Still loves the big red machine.
yeah. I mean,
And you know the bad thing about it, I was just looking at the schedule for next week. You know who you got coming to town next Friday night, right?
yeah, yeah. It's homecoming next week, Lawrence.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I hope the Tigers take it easy. I saw
Uh,
I saw they jumped
fif-
out on Coosa pretty early tonight.
yeah, 50-42 Jackets went for two and got it. We're in the third overtime. Don't you have to go for two now,
Yep.
or is that just college?
Probably high school too, man. So they don't stay there all night.
Yeah. Well, Cartersville's going to have their shot at it.
Yeah, looking at the 7A schedule for next week, man. Like I said, we got Darlington going to Chattooga, and I think Armurchie's got Pepperell, and Dade's off. So that leaves what, Trine and Coosa.
Yeah. If Armurchie shows up with the game they play tonight, that game could be interesting. That could get interesting next week. A lot more interesting than people would have said at the beginning of the year.
Or at the beginning of the night, really,
Yeah, yeah.
Man,
I mean, you look at that. You put 54 points on a defense that held Pepperell to 21 just a week before.
yeah. Like I said, 400 and something yards, 417 yards for the Indians tonight. Probably about half pass, half run, 200 pass, 200 rushing.
hmm We got Cartersville's got the ball down to the 3 yard line. They'll be first and goal. Touchdown.
Touchdown. Now they got to go for two.
hmm
Game on the line right here.
It seems as though this stream that I'm watching is a tad bit behind. So there may be people out there that already knows what happens.
If they stop them, huh?
It sounds like it. A text that I see says Calhoun has ended Cartersville's 62 game region winning streak. And they're about to go for two now, so I'm thinking I'm about to see the play.
Yeah, I'm concerned about this scoring service that I use here. It's got North Paulden 49, Walton 48. I don't want to say the name here in the public, but yeah, they come up with some crazy scores this year, man.
Yeah, I think you said it all when you said public. Let's see here. What division is that?
7A.
Oof, the biggest.
Hey, how about South Paulden and Paulding County? They were playing tonight. East Paulden and Noonan.
I have now. This is off the Max Preps app. A fourth quarter score, 49-48 North Paulding.
Okay.
That's what I have right now on Max Preps. Now it should be. You think it'd be over right now?
It started at 8 o'clock, and it's the Peachtree TV game, so they probably taking
Yeah.
all kind of timeouts.
Yeah.
I, I have to
Three
agree with
minutes.
I have to agree with Mr. McKenzie here, man. It shows you how strong Cedartown is.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. I mean, we're finally getting to that play, by the way. And they tackled the quarterback on about the 5 yard line on the 2 point conversion. And Calhoun wins it.
Huge win for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah,
I
big win. That
yeah
gives them the heads up in the region, right? I
yep
mean, they're gonna. I mean, that could be big as to matchups into the second round or whatnot, home field.
yeah, and as big as our Murchie win was tonight over Chattooga, I think the Calhoun over Cartersville is our upset of the night so far, our upset of the week. Nine
Yeah,
and a half,
it's
nine and
more
a
of
half
a
underdogs.
spread. Yeah, I was going to say 9.5.
Yeah, I got to thinking about that, man. The second quarter when the game was so close, I was like, man, that take Cal Preps is pretty good. We're sitting there at 21-20. I'm like, man, they do a pretty good job. That computer
Yeah,
somehow. But yeah,
yeah.
do you see anything on South Paulden and Paulden?
I did earlier. Let's see here. Let's see what I can pull up here. 4, 5, 6.
And Noonan beat East Paulden 31-14.
South Paulding 48, Paulding 35.
Wow.
48-35 was the final there. Wow.
Chris said, well, what a night of football, man. It's just Thursday. Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, Chris, I don't know if you just jumped in, man, but we were talking about how good your Cedartown Bulldogs must be if they held Calhoun to what, to 7 points? Was it
Yeah.
7?
Yeah, 21-7.
Yeah. I know when we saw the line this week for that game tomorrow night, 35 points, we're like, man, 35 is a lot, but it might not be a lot.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
South Paulding 48, Paulding 35. I think that's a great showing for Paulding County, man. They've really improved this year. One of the surprise teams in
Man, all
2022.
those Paulding County teams, man, North Paulding, South Paulding, even East Paulding. I mean, all of them have.
Hiram. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
actually did a little thing the other day. I went through and saw which teams have exceeded their preseason Cal Preps ratings. 4 of them were Paulding County, man.
Hmm.
Gilmer was number 1. Then you had Paulding County, Hiram, North
Lumpkin.
Paulding, and East Paulding.
Huh. Well,
Yeah, Chris said the spread cost me last week. Chris is like leading our pick 'em. He came in second last year, man. He's a big
ah,
and that late touchdown by Dalton last week beat him.
see, you think you're gonna cover that? What is it? 30? What did you say it was?
34 and a half.
Think you're gonna cover that 34.5 tomorrow? I don't know, man. That's a lot. Yeah, I agree with that statement. He said Cedartown's defense is for real, but you see that?
Yeah.
Whoever does spreads works for Vegas.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
might
I don't know who is the originator of the Cal Preps stuff.
I don't know who does it, but I actually fudge them a little bit. I actually have my own system.
Yeah,
I
I
could
agree
uh I could show you my chart, but I don't want to bore y'all to death.
on that. Oh man, and I mostly look at Massey because I like what Massey has to say most days.
Massey's clean too, it's set up real nice and looks
Yeah.
pretty. And Cal Prep's just for nerds, man. A bunch of numbers on the screen.
Yeah. Oh.
But
Well,
yeah, like I
all
said,
right.
we will be back with you tomorrow night, man. Full schedule of games tomorrow night. Benton will be rested up, ready to go.
Yeah, you got ball practice tomorrow night.
Do not, do not. Yeah, if anybody on the junior Pee Wee staff is watching tonight, Matthew was sick. Sorry we couldn't make it.
Anyway,
That poor fella.
I'm gonna write you an excuse out right here.
Yeah.
I got it coming. Alrighty.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all tomorrow night. Same time. Like I said, we're going to try to. I'm still 50-50 on what game I'm going to tomorrow night. But I'm going to try to get up to Trine. If I don't go to Trine, I'm going to watch Northwest and Sonoraville.
Something tells me I'll see you in Trine tomorrow
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, I think so. All right, man. We'll see
All
you.
right, we'll see you.